Well, good afternoon, everybody. Buonasera, and welcome to the Progold Design Contest Awards Ceremony. Are you all excited for the event this afternoon? Oh, you can do better than that. Come on, yes. How exciting to be here to create this event to celebrate three important parts of our industry. Firstly, education. And many of you are here from all the design schools in Spain and Italy and other places in the world. So welcome to all of you who are studying hard in jewelry design and aspects of jewelry. So education we're here to celebrate today. We're also here to celebrate sustainability, this very important movement globally to fight the climate crisis and to enable jewelry to be part of solutions to the planet and the people that live on it. And then the third most important, I think, aspect of the three is digital innovation. So much of what Progold and the work that Damiano, Zito and the team do here in Vicenza, using new technologies to push boundaries in jewelry manufacturing. So thank you very much for all being here this afternoon, and welcome to the award ceremony today. My name is Edward Johnson. I work for a company called Gemfields. I was very kindly invited by Damiano to be with you this afternoon and hopefully to help the event run smoothly and to look after some of the questions for the excellent panelists and guests that we have here who've been part of the project from the start. So thank you very much for coming. And Damiano, thank you very much for inviting me. It's a pleasure to be here today. So, as we know, those of you that have been involved in this competition, Progold started this competition back in around 2016. And along the way, have picked up some very important partners to help to realize their ambition of building this competition into be a truly international and very important system for recognizing brilliance in digital technology, new manufacturing techniques, and sustainability. So along the way, we've been Progold has been very proud to bring in PGI, the Platinum Guild International, as a supporter for this event. And now also for the first time this year, Chaumet have also joined. So thank you so much for your support for the event. The theme for the competition this year was reinterpreting an iconic aesthetic through the use of new technologies in a sustainable way. So again, those themes of sustainability and new technologies. I'd like to start, please. I have some questions for the panelists, and then there will be a video running throughout the presentation with some of the examples of the winners and those items that were selected to be made. So please enjoy the video that will be going on behind us at different stages. But if I can first start, and what we wanted to have today was really a conversation about the importance of the event, the importance of the competition for your students, for your companies, for the associations that are involved in it. But Damiano, if I can start with you first. Firstly, thank you from my perspective as a member of the gem and jewelry industry for having the vision to sponsor this and to support this. Education is the lifeblood of our industry, and it drives everything forward. As such, and when you were starting this competition, when you were thinking about starting, what was your reasons for running the competition, and why are you doing it now?
Well, let me thank to be here so many today, and I will say that the passion on additive manufacturing, on this digital technology, was in somehow pushing us to looking for whatever was the possibility to promote and to make every, even people involved in jewelry trying to, to measure themselves with this some very cool way to produce jewelry. And in the beginning, we were thinking that having a connection with students, we were starting with some, let's say, very clear brain, in that they had no prejudice in what was new, and they were thinking in the proper way for the proper approach on additive manufacturing. So in the beginning, we said, if the students will be close to additive manufacturing, we believe that they will be able to start at the school side to touch the technology, and when they go to the field, they will help the technology to be embraced by the field. Because always, when something is new, it takes time, and we wanted to start from the school. And this is the reason that at that time, that during the year, it was changing a little bit, but always giving the chance to the student to touch something new. Because we do believe that additive manufacturing is something that can be one of the way to produce the future jewelry.
And I know now, you know, as well as a school in Turin, also four schools in Spain, and I hope many of you are here today, and also a school in Wuhan in China has got involved. And you know, you've moved this, I think, this year into using platinum as part of the design brief. So why was platinum chosen for your competition?
Mainly because of, you know, a new technology is always has the mission to try to help to add value to a field in where the new technologies start to succeed. And platinum is something quite difficult to produce by the traditional processes. So it was something like an easy start, because the more difficult something is to be produced by the technology that we have today, and the more easy it is for the new technology to be embraced. And that's why. So platinum is something that even from the segment of platinum, where the platinum jewelry are in the market, so generally the quite high segment, and we do believe that additive manufacturing at the moment is much more attractive for that kind of segment. So there is not really a mass production on platinum, much more platinum and diamond always is at higher segment compared to some gold production, or I will say the majority of gold production. For that reason, so the difficulty to produce the volumes, because one of, I will say, the limitation of a new technology like additive manufacturing is that when we talk about the number, the production capacity cannot be compared with the investment casting process. So platinum was exactly very well fitting the additive manufacturing technology.
And thank you, and we'll talk in a minute about how PGI got involved with the theme of the platinum. You know, of course, and what's important to many of us in the room is all of us being part of solutions and sustainable solutions and ways that we can work on improving life on the planet for all the people on here. So I was very interested when you first told me about this project that one of the main themes is around sustainability. So from your perspective, why was that theme chosen for this competition?
In general, because of the first, you know, I will say, part of the first years on the contest were much more focused on which was the new design possibility that additive manufacturing was giving to the market. But this year that we have a global brand like Chaumet involved, and this was somehow very good for the students, because they were much more, how to say, attracted to design for a global brand. It was not a matter of design, and because as we will, I'm sure Pauline and Adrien will speak later. This year, having them, it was much more which could be the value that additive manufacturing could bring. And the value is as you said, the carbon footprint, the impact. So the message that to produce that reinterpretation collection using additive manufacturing, we could be, how to say, something like 1/3 more green than the usual or the traditional production technology. And this was, let's say, the technological message, because we were not looking for some design that were not possible to be produced by investment casting. We were looking for design, not giving that strict role to exploit the additive manufacturing. So the technical value brought by additive manufacturing was the carbon footprint, lower amount of carbon footprint compared to casting.
And I think that's a really important message. And we had been part of an event approximately a year ago where I learned so much of you about the increased sustainability that we can achieve as an industry through more additive manufacturing and use of more technology. How do you see this field developing and growing over time? The role of additive manufacturing in jewelry?
I do believe that we are really in a very particular time now. We spent the last 15 years thinking every year, should we give up or should we go ahead? Because sometimes it's very frustrating because, you know, in general, the market is not really patient to wait some new technology to be mature in the proper way. But I will say that starting from after the pandemic, really, the major brands are even much more seriously involved in having some collection in their collection produced by additive manufacturing for some technical reason connected to design, for some sustainable reason. Not much, I will say, today, but it's because it's a value that needs to be communicated, because it's a tangible asset that additive manufacturing is able to give. But I will say that the hard time for additive manufacturing is gone. So today, the road, I don't know how to say in English, is in something like...
Going downhill.
It's going downhill. So, yeah, much easier because of even the technology is much more understood. Then we are going very much to the mass customization, which is a very important thing about additive manufacturing, producing 1,000 pieces, one different from the other one, at the same cost of 1,000 pieces, all the same. So I think that in this decade, things will change a lot in production. Not that investment casting or CNC, that is coming very common, will be substituted by additive manufacturing, but it will take its space for bringing value. But it's really mature.
Nice to hear. Pauline, if I can turn to you from Chaumet, and thank you so much for Chaumet's support of this competition. Of course, we know the history of Chaumet has been entwined with French history since 1718 when it was founded. And as we look forward in the future, if we're talking about sustainability, we're talking about many people will use the Sustainable Development Goals, the United Nations Framework 2030 for a lot of their work. And if I can just highlight one of them as we're going forward is SDG 17, which is the importance of partnerships and collaboration. And of course, for you at Chaumet, this is an important collaboration with Progold. So, you know, this is important way for people to work together, partnerships for progress. So this collaboration from your perspective, how did it come about and how was the whole project born for you at Chaumet?
Thank you very much. So there are actually two things. So one, as you mentioned and as Damiano explained, one of the things which drew us to Progold and this contest is definitely the sustainability approach. We care deeply about CSR at Chaumet. Everyone, I mean, within the group as well, we want to do better. And we know that in our line of work, this is not always easy, so it's quite a challenge. And when we were approached about 3D printing and knowing what it brings to the table and how less impactful it is to the environment. As Damiano said, maybe it won't replace case casting and other technology, but at least it's another solution which can be used and which is interesting for us if we want to reduce our impact. So this is, I think, the first point which really drew us into this collaboration. And the other one is that at Chaumet, we really believe that talents makes a difference. One of our core values is sharing emotions and culture. We use it within the maison, of course, between each others and in our everyday work. But also we want to have this approach when we're doing other things outside of the maison. And we really have at heart to continue to share our culture, our savoir-faire with other people, especially with new generations. Chaumet is involved, of course, with internships, sponsorships. We have in-house trainings, and we do also contests. We really believe that the new generations, as you said, we are the one maybe working right now, but people, young people, at least younger than us, are the ones who are going to make tomorrow. And if we want to make tomorrow together and still be relevant in this new world, we need actually to listen to them, take in their point of view, their fresh ideas, and how they see what we currently do. So it's always nice to be challenged and have these new points of view, as well as for us, it's always good to be involved in education and continue to pass on all the history and savoir-faire that Chaumet can.
Very nice. Yeah, I mean, it's important for the future of the industry to pass on the knowledge and to share with the students going forward. So that's an important part of this whole program and this event. Now, I know that there was a strong theme around the Josephine collection.
Indeed.
Can you tell us a little bit more about the collection itself, and also why was that collection chosen here?
Sure. So we chose the Josephine collection because we wanted to challenge and try to reinvent one of our icons. So I will tell you a bit more about Josephine and Chaumet. So as you said earlier, Chaumet has been created since more than 240 years, starting in 1780. And at the time, we were lucky to be one of Napoleon's jewelry producers. And at the time, so we made a connection, quite a deep and long-lasting connection with his wife, Josephine, who was one of our first clients. So it was also quite natural for us at Chaumet to further along the way have a collection paying tribute to our relation and deep link with our muse, actually. So this is how the Josephine collection was born. And what better to pay tribute to an empress than a tiara? At Chaumet, we have quite a long and extensive history of tiaras. Some were just drawn, some others were produced, have been lucky enough to be worn. And it's not something that everyone can wear every day, definitely, and that's not something we wanted to do. We still produce tiaras, of course, but with the Josephine collection, we wanted also an opportunity to pass along this piece of history to everyone on an everyday basis. So we turned the tiara into a ring. So the basis of the Josephine collection is actually the tiara ring. And this ring, of course, today it also translates into other pieces of jewelry. We have pendants, bracelets, timepieces even. But what we want also to do with it is that, like Josephine was a multi-faced woman. She was a woman of fashion. She was a lover as well. But she was also a woman of court, an empress. So the Josephine collection and all its models also have this kind of multi-faced approach. And we have different bits and pieces of Josephine within all of our collection. And so we have, at the heart of the Josephine collections, we have high jewelry and also many bridal pieces. We do engagement rings and wedding bands, which is also a memento of Joséphine and Napoleon love story. For us, it was quite natural to represent this aspect of their life within our collection. And as you probably know, a lot of engagement rings and wedding bands are made in platinum because mainly of its durability. And we hope that all these bridal jewelry can be as long-lasting as the love stories they're going to be matched with, hopefully. Definitely. So we do actually a lot of platinum at Chaumet. And so definitely when we were approached with a contest which involved 3D printing, platinum, we thought about what collection we could involve, but Joséphine is the most iconic one. We're quite happy to say that we don't just do bridal jewelry. It's actually one of our iconic designs, which is an engagement ring. And so it was very obvious for us which one to choose and to go and pick two of our most iconic wedding designs, so the Joséphine Amour d'Aigrette Solitaire, as well as the Triomphe de Chaumet wedding band, to start with an aesthetic brief and give this first idea to the students.
Well, fantastic, thank you. And I love that link all the way back through French history to two very iconic members of French society, to Napoleon and Joséphine, and you know, linking that through to Chaumet's heritage as well. That's very nice. Adrien, thank you so much for joining us today, and it's important to have the technical experts like yourself to join this and join the process of the competition. From your perspective, since you've been part of this project, how have you seen the project develop over time?
Firstly, as Pauline told you, we are shared to the student an aesthetic brief and also a more technical brief, a very short technical brief in order to not kill the students' creativity. Yep. But we wished design printable, and also design could be manufacturable with more conventional techniques like casting or machining. This is the first step of the contest. And when we have briefed the students, they had, I think, 10 days to design rings. And after 10 days, we had received more than 100 drawings from the students. This is very impressionant, very creative design, a lot of some design very successful with a lot of details, very interesting work. But unfortunately, some design had very creative but very complicated to develop.
Yeah, okay.
And are too far from the Chaumet identity.
Okay.
And among this 100 drawing, we had selected 30 designs that the student had to create in 3D.
Okay.
Okay. I think 2 weeks later, we receive from this design, this drawing, we receive 40 CAD files about this, all the design. Again, the work is very amazing. For in the short time to do that, the student realized a very beautiful work, very close to a professional work, I think. And to select the 7 pieces to be printed, the main criteria was the brief, the initial brief, and also the ability to print to be printed the pieces, and the design more successful in terms of jewelry. We look we check the design of the grain, we check the thickness, we check the capacity to finish the pieces, to set the stone, etc. And when we select the 7 pieces, Progold had printed in 3D, platinum 3D, during the first week of January. And after that, we took the pieces, and we have been working as the Chaumet jewelry pieces. Hand workers, setting the stone, to polish the pieces, to finish correctly the pieces, by expert craftsmen. And this is a very good job. I want to say thanks to the craftsmen, because they have done a very great job in a very short time. Yeah. This is a very impressive.
Yeah, impressive.
Sure. And after finally, the winner have been chosen last Monday in Paris by a jury composite of Chaumet members, Progold members, and PGI members. Yeah.
Thank you for all of that explanation.
No problem.
That's really lovely insight into the competition and the process. Hugh, if I can bring you in. For those of you who are not familiar with the Platinum Guild International, or PGI, it's a marketing organization that was created in 1975 with the vision to develop a global jewelry, platinum jewelry market as a new demand source for platinum. So really to push the demand for platinum as a metal that's used for jewelry manufacturing. And you have a vision now with these new technologies to really get involved in direct metal 3D printing for platinum, and maybe replacing a lot of that with away from investment casting, the older methods of manufacturing. And as we know, you have a footprint mainly in the Asian and the US markets, and you yourself travel a lot, I know, between them. Thank you again to you, as with Chaumet, for your collaboration. As we've talked about already, it's important for organizations to work together to achieve progress. From your perspective, leading PGI, why was the collaboration important for you to get involved with?
On multiple levels, really. I think that obviously the future of our industry is in the next generation. And as the Platinum Guild, it's our mission to make sure that platinum is something that is integrated into the curriculum of schools, design schools around the world. So we do work with all the leading schools across the world, and really, platinum being such a precious and expensive and relatively rare commodity, it's actually quite difficult to get platinum into the hands of students at schools. So for us, this was a no-brainer, because we wanted to obviously inspire design, but also let students experience working with the metal, because it's only when you hold platinum in your hands, you see its beauty, you feel its heft, you see its naturally white color, that the magic of the metal really comes through, and you begin to understand, why this is a metal that is very different to white gold, for example. And frankly, so much of our lives are lived in the digital, virtual world. Again, super important, get the metal into people's hands, which is very challenging at the level of the schools, as we were discussing earlier. So that was an incentive for us. And then we have a long-standing relationship with Progold. We're always looking for the next thing. and Damiano and his team have been amazing at championing particularly additive manufacturing. So we've always been a strong supporter of Progold. And then Chaumet, it's a match made in heaven because you have a storied historical brand that is very relevant on the global jewelry stage today. And platinum is an important part of their DNA. So the three came together perfectly.
As you said, a no-brainer. I love that British expression. And so, you know, from your perspective, why is platinum so relevant for innovation and new digital technologies or new technologies?
Well, it's interesting because if you look at the history of precious metals, platinum is a relatively new metal because of its high melting point. It really wasn't introduced in a commercial way into jewelry until the early middle of the 19th century. Up until then, silver had been the default white precious metal, but silver is very soft. It's also tarnishes. Along comes platinum, and it was really championed by several of the maisons in Paris who suddenly discovered this miracle metal that you could do things with that you couldn't do with silver or gold. And so a lot of the early designs were really working with platinum's malleability, your ability to really make very delicate, thin supporting structures for gemstones. So there was this kind of burst of innovation around floating diamonds where for the first time in history, you could actually see more of the diamond than the setting. And then if we move into the early 20th century, a lot of the jewelry in the Edwardian and Art Deco period was hand-finished, hand-manufactured. And platinum, again, because of its unique properties, when it's hand-worked and hand-finished, the surface of the metal becomes harder, stronger. So it's no coincidence that today, when you go to some of the estate sales of vintage jewelry, you'll primarily from that era see platinum from the Art Nouveau, Art Deco period, because the metal lent itself to hand fabrication and it's lasted a long time. And then if we come into the late 20th century, now casting is the primary manufacturing process on a large scale. Again, platinum again has this unique property, which is it has no metal memory. So when you bend the prong to hold a gem set in place, it doesn't want to go back. It just stays there. And so even though platinum has some disadvantages against some of the other metals in casting, because it has such a high melting point, that you can have issues with the pore rate and solidification and the crystalline structure of the metal, which means that you can end up with a lot of reworking of the metal. But still, using the non-metal memory aspect of platinum gave it a distinct innovative edge, even in casting. And then today, when we come to 3D, which is really the future, again, it looks like platinum actually will take a leading role in that technology, because we see that it actually consumes a lot less energy than the other metals and actually comes out of the printing process with a much higher quality finish. So we actually are very excited about 3D printing. We think it's actually a technology that, dare I say, platinum could own. Certainly, platinum will have distinct competitive advantage in it. And so that's why we're here.
Well, we look forward to watching that future develop. I hope you're enjoying the video on the screen here behind us. It's the sketches that were submitted that Adrien was talking about, and also some video of the 7 pieces that were printed. I believe there were 7 pieces printed by 6 individual students, and also some videos about the process and the online voting system. So I hope you're enjoying that, which is rolling on the screen behind us as we go. So, and lastly, but definitely not least, Daniela from IED in Turin, and thank you so much for joining and bringing your students into this competition. It's so important to have the schools involved. As we've talked about, the education is a crucial part of the future of the jewelry business. And if I can ask you the same question from your perspective, how did you get involved, and how did IED decide to get involved in this competition with Progold?
Oh, thank you, Mr. Johnson, for sharing our conversation. And thank you to all of you to be here. First of all, I have to thank Damiano Zito, the promoter of this contest, because I think you have a really creative and open mind. And I think to have a good understanding about creativity, what brings to. And our relation, our collaboration started many years ago between Progold and IED, European Institute of Design, specifically with the third year of jewelry design course, which I coordinate. And we shared since the beginning, I mean 2016, the same vision. Our goal was not only to produce the production and the consumption of new jewels, of new products, but it was related to the quality of life and its improvement. We believed since the beginning that sustainability and digital innovation were the two pillars of our collaboration. And the contest too. The contest too was born from this vision. At the beginning, only with our student from IED Turin. After a while, with the student of different parts of Europe. And now, this time, with the students of different parts of the world, with China involved with one, and so many academies from Spain. And so I think that the students and we, the teachers, and everybody feel to be a relevant part of the SDGs, so of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. As you said before, Edward, as the 17th, but not only, also the 4th, so about quality of education, and the 9th maybe, yes, the one about innovation industry, and the 10th too, reduce inequality, because for the students this contest is not only competition, it's not only I win, you lose, you win, I lose. But it's a way to know each other, to learn different method pathway, to understand new cultures and new roots. So it's really an opportunity for all of us and for the student. And every year, Damiano, give more space to this vision by involving new partners. So this year, with Chaumet and Platinum Guild International and Gemfields and Vicenza Oro, we give to the students a great opportunity, so rich.
And I liked, what you were saying there about the importance for the students, their experience of getting involved in this. I mean, we are here to announce some winners today, and I'm sure you're all looking forward to hearing that when we get to it soon, just building up the tension towards that. But I think I can say that everybody's a winner when they get involved in this, because the process of being part of these design competitions and following the brief that Adrien was telling me about, was telling us about, is an important part of learning how to enter these competitions and learning how to match a brief. So as a teacher, what do you think, and we could ask the audience, but I'd like to ask you as the teacher, what do you think the students get out of being involved in a competition like this? What does a competition mean to them?
It's not, as you told, it's not only a competition, no? Because for them it's a project. In IED we are used to have the students are used to collaboration with between different skills and business with agencies, institutions. So the cooperation between with the companies and brands is just a specificity of our learning method. So they are used to that. But this time, with so many stakeholders and topics and companies, is really for them something special, a unique learning pathway, a new. And because, you know, there are 4 keywords, I mean, this year. Or 5. One is sustainability. The second one is respect. The third one is digital innovation. The fourth one is creativity. And then we have the match between tradition and innovation. So, for example, Platinum Guild International to the students means platinum. Okay. And platinum for them is purity, longevity, eternal tradition. And Chaumet, for the students, is not only a high jewelry brand, but is the history of jewelry. So is the big tradition. So at the beginning for them was quite hard to give a new interpretation to Josephine collection, because for them to wear a Chaumet ring means to feel a princess. So, but they were really helped from the technology. So applying the 3D methods with Reno, and we have such a beautiful team of teachers helping them to know the new technologies and the history of jewels. So they were helped because they are more comfort with digital skins. So after a while, they get less shy in front of the project, and they started to give just a response to the questions. But you know, all the time that the students, I think of all over the world, start a new project, they ask themselves, am I able to? But I think that if you look at their faces of the students, you will have the answer. So I want to thank every one of you to have given the possibility to all the students to be proud of themselves.
Thank you. That's a really lovely way. That's a really lovely way to think about this contest. And you know, on my perspective, thank you all for being in part of this important project. And of course, thank you so much to Damiano and all the team at Progold for making this happen. And thank you to all of you out there who took part of this competition. And it's not the winning or the losing, is the taking part, is the old adage. But we do have to get to some winners, because there are some winners today for the competition, and that's the point of this ceremony. And so perhaps I could ask Isabel from Progold to join us on stage. And this is the magic moment when we get to announce the winners of the 2 sections of the competition. Thank you, Isabel.
Thank you. Do you hear me?
Yes.
Hello, everybody. Thank you all for coming in this important moment for us, and of course for students that have participated at this edition of the Progold 3D contest. I would like to call on stage the students whose pieces was printed this year. From IED of Turin, Alessandro Pavone, Naomi Capabianca, and Alice Tasinato. Then from Escuela Joyería de Córdoba, Gerardo Herrera. From Escuela de Valencia, Maria Cortés. And as representative for Julia who could not come, I kindly ask to Daniel to come here as a representative for the Gemological School of China. Now I will announce the winner decided from the online voting. The winner is Gerardo Herrera from the Escuela Joyería de Córdoba. Compliments. I kindly ask to Adrien and Pauline to come for give the prize.
Congratulations.
Shall we, do you want to do it, Adrien, do you want to do it at the front?
Yeah.
We can have a photo.
Donne-lui. So here's a gift from Chaumet. I don't know if you will wear it yourself, or maybe you will gift it to someone else.
It's gonna be for my girlfriend.
We hope she will love it.
I think so.
So the theme of the collection was about Joséphine, but we have 3 icons at Chaumet: Joséphine, Be My Love, and Jeu de Lien. So this pendant is from the Jeu de Lien collection, and the Jeu de Lien collection is actually all about human connections. And we hope we made a very important human connection this year with this contest, and this can be a memento of your participation.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
And then the winner decided from the technical jury. And the winner is Naomi Capabianca from IED School of Turin. Compliments.
So, as we were saying, we have 3 icons at Chaumet. One of them is Be My Love, and we are very happy to gift you with a Be My Love pendant to remember as well another collection of Chaumet.
Thank you so much.
Welcome. Congratulations.
Come on, in the middle.
In the middle.
And then I know that Chaumet has bring also something for the other students that have participated. Compliments to all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Isabel. Isabel, congratulations to everybody. Well done for taking part, and everybody else who took part in the event. Thank you so much to Chaumet for your gracious sponsorship of this. Maybe we'll all get together for one photo. After, okay, all right. I think that concludes the exciting ceremony and event today. Thank you so much for coming today. I'd encourage you and urge you, if you're a teacher, get your students involved in the competition next year, when I'm very much expecting that you'll be running it again next year, and I look forward to hearing about that. And if you're a student, please do get involved in this. It's not the winning, it's the taking part, which is the most important. And I wish you all very good luck. I wish you a nice rest of your Sunday. Thank you so much to Progold for all you do to promote technology and sustainability and education. Thank you, Damiano. Thank you. Have a nice evening, everybody.
If you want to.